Self-judgment is but also to other people. Self-judgment is tricky, because it can feel right. It can feel as if we are being responsible. And so it gets underneath our defense systems and creeps through our whole way of thinking until we can't see that we're doing it. So in today's energy activation, we're going to reflect deeply on self-judgment and how to let go of it. Let's start by grounding our energy. So let your energy drop down into the ground and deep down into the earth. Let go of holding everything up and holding on. And allow everything that's heavy to drop down. Relax your whole being. And breathe into your lower belly. And drop into a place of deeper awareness. And deeper reflection. A place where you can observe yourself without emotion. Just seeing yourself clearly. Breathe very regularly and smoothly. So your breathing calms you down. And now let's gently start to look at the ways in which you judge yourself. This happens when you have expectations of yourself that are untrue and unreasonable. And so you may judge yourself higher than you really are, or lower than you really are, rather than simply seeing yourself with clarity and accepting where you are and where you want to go to. So self-judgment is a distortion of your reality. And it prevents change. So let's look first at where you overjudge yourself. Where you tend to say, I'm so amazing. I'm so awesome. I'm so brilliant. Or where other people say, you're so amazing, and you take their assessment as your truth. And it becomes fixed. And it makes you feel above other people. And it stops you from learning more. It prevents you from being open. And after a little while, it hardens you. And you don't know how that happens. And in those areas where you tend to overjudge yourself, see if you can see yourself with clarity. You may be very good at something, but are you open always to learning more, to changing? Are you open to listening to people who know less, but who don't want your knowledge? They want to connect with you. Are you able to drop your mastery and be human? Are you able to listen to a small child without trying to teach them something? Are you able to be present with your partner or your colleague or your close friend. And connect and be present with each other. And listen to them even when they don't know as much as you. And understand them. Because over-judgment of yourself puts walls between you and those who know less than you. And you lose your deep sense of being a connected human being. A true master is always open and never relies on what they already know. A true master is always growing, is always humble, and expects change. So let go of overjudging yourself. And be honest about your own abilities. Appreciating them. Being grateful. And above all, being able to connect with people, with life, and in everything that you're doing. And now let's look at the way that you judge yourself negatively. Where you reject yourself, hate yourself, deny yourself, where you're afraid of yourself. And so you refuse to see reality with clarity. So maybe you judge your body, or you judge your ability in relationship, or you judge yourself in business, or maybe you judge yourself in almost everything, constantly putting yourself down, criticizing, and rejecting yourself. This is so painful. If you treated a small child the way you treat yourself, that child would be permanently emotionally scarred. So let's look at how you can be honest with yourself, especially in the areas where you're weak or not who you want to be. So maybe your body is not how you would love it to be. But what happens when you judge it for that? When you look at yourself in the mirror with hatred and fear of yourself. Can you feel the pain? Can you feel how disconnecting that is for you? Can you feel how your body needs to protect itself from the violence of your thoughts? And can you feel into the relief of simply accepting who you are right now? Accepting the weight you are simply because that's what it is. Accepting the shape you are because that's the shape you are at the moment. Accepting your physical condition, even if there's sickness or injury or pain or some other dysfunction. But whatever is going on in your body, it's better to see it for what it is. Because when you reject yourself, you lose power to change. There is no power in fear or hatred or denial. The only real power lies in love. And love starts with acceptance. So whether you like your body or not, it's still the way that it is. And when you accept that as a simple fact, you start to open up the freedom to change. And you may not be able to make all the changes that you would love. You may never have the shape of a bodybuilder or a model or someone you were not born to be. But you can love your body and take good care of it. And make the most of it. And express your life fully through it, not someone else's. And there's freedom in that. There's no freedom in longing to be different. There's no freedom in being afraid to look at yourself. And it's the same with the way you behave in any area of your life. It's so easy to reject yourself for making a mistake, for doing something wrong, for hurting another person, for losing it, for not being the person you'd like to be. But in the moment that self-judgment and self-condemnation and self-rejection come into your mind, You step on the path of disconnecting from yourself. And when you disconnect from yourself, you cut yourself off. You lose natural power. Change becomes very difficult and happens in spite of you, rather than with your cooperation. And all you can do is judge yourself more. So where you're weak, admit that you're weak. Just admit it and get stronger if you need to. Take your courage into your hands and make the commitment to yourself to improve. When you hurt someone, don't defend yourself and pretend you were right and judge yourself on the inside. But admit it. Ask for forgiveness. Forgive yourself. And have the courage to decide to be better next time. And if you fail again, admit it again. And forgive yourself. Maybe you're not very good at this yet, and that's okay. And quietly give yourself time to get better. From radical honesty with yourself comes radical freedom. So as we start to come to an end now, let go of judging yourself. And make a habit of seeing yourself with clarity and honesty. And with love that will give you power to change what you can change, and to love all of it. Thank you.